Well, hi there. Welcome to Markets Tomorrow right here on ET9. The Mumbai News Centre. I'm Tanveer Gill. Lined up on the show over the next 30 minutes are key voices that will make sense of the markets on a day when the market saw a pullback from 7-month highs. So down about 1% for the benchmark indices, not extending out to broader markets, but it's really a profit-taking coming in at higher levels. So we'll talk about the direction for the markets in the near term with Andrew Holland, CEO, Ambit Investment Advisors, Prashasta Seth, CEO, India Info and AMC, and Sacchitanand Uttekar will help our viewers approach trade tomorrow with his trading ideas. The top stories first, and it was really a day when heavyweights dragged down the market to close at the day's lows. That was an important aspect, and a key contributor to that loss was Infosys, which tumbled over 4%. The management has warned of a bumpy road ahead, even though they are maintaining their FY17 guidance in total. But that brought about, some readjustment in sentiment for the entire IT pack. TCS also was lower in trade. On the flip side, however, oil rebounding is a key story which is fueling the rally for oil and gas companies. Reliance Industries, ONGC, BPCL were all active in the session. They were the top gainers. On news, there was, of course, U.S. agencies reporting or expected to sue Dr. Reddy's as they violate packaging norms, and that was a key concern which weighed heavy on the stock price of Dr. Reddy's in the session today. The question that we are asking then is at this juncture, with this pullback, with this profit-taking, with this unwinding, call you what you may, that is the market showing signs of fatigue from these levels? And Prashasta as well as Sacchitanand, thanks very much for taking out the time to speak with us today. Good evening to both of you. Prashasta, I'll start off with you first. Do you think that this is just that little step back, profit-taking that one would expect the market to witness after 5 days of uptrend?
I think that's the case, but I think more than that, I think what also one needs to realize is that the valuations have again started to become fairly stretched. Now, if you compare with what Nifty was trading, let's say, 15 months back, March 15, when Nifty was trading at 9,000 levels, if you compare the valuations from, between then and now, valuations now are frankly more than what they were at that point of time because the earnings cut has been a lot more. So I think, the stocks have moved significantly. There has been a one-way rally. And at the same time, I think valuations have again started to become fairly rich. So given a backdrop of these two factors, I think you could see a period of consolidation in the markets.
Sacchitanand, your own sense? Because in the internals, on the futures and options side, it seems like call writing at 8,300 is suggesting that there's a pause to this rally, which is coming in with today's pullback, so to speak.
Well, good evening. Yes, absolutely, yes. In fact, if you look at the last week of May, wherein we saw a stupendous rally in Nifty from the levels of 7,700, we saw a gain of around 5.5% in just a span of 6 trading sessions. But if you look at this current calendar, we have already passed around 6 trading sessions and Nifty has moved just about 1% or so. 8,300, yes, it has been acting as a very strong resistance, and what we are expecting is a cool off. In fact, if you look at the momentum oscillator, it is clearly placed in the overbought zone and it is auguring well for a correction. So we expect 8,300 to be capped for some time, and we expect the lower level of around 8,000 to be retested. This is a broader, we are not talking about a broader change in trend, but yes, we have seen a stupendous rally and we may see some cool off, and a very healthy correction is something that is expected in the market.
Okay, Infosys was the big story, and we can talk about it at length, and we must, because it is an index heavyweight, and it also in a way provides some sort of an opinion for the entire sector. In that sense, a leadership of opinion essentially on that front. So, Prashasta, what did you make of the management's caution? Because this is the third successive quarter that before earnings, and we're going to be stepping into earnings come July, they have signaled to the market to readjust their expectations because the road ahead looks bumpy.
So I think, if you see the sector, I think the two heavyweights had kind of moved in a totally different trajectory than the other parts of the market. So second-tier companies and the entire sector, except for the two big names, had moved in a totally different direction. And because I think people were hoping that the growth rates, let's say in an Infi, for example, will be far better than what you would see in a sector as a whole, depending on their guidance. So I think